I guess it's time to do another video. What? Wait a second. What is that? I don't know. We better take a look. I hope it isn't my electricity bill. Let's check this out together. Wait a second. Wait a second. This is what I think it is. Yes! All right, let's build it. Hi friends, thank you so much for joining us for this exciting build of 1, 2, 3 Sesame Street, the LEGO Ideas build. I am super pleased that I could bring this to you. I do realize the fact that it is a long video for the sort of video that it is, but it's so jam-packed full of detail that even speeding this up, this build took me almost 5 hours to complete, and video, I've managed to compress it down to a 15-minute video. So I do hope that you enjoy it and that you stay with me for the entire ride. There are certainly some very interesting parts to this set, and it is certainly a lot of fun. So this part here is just simply getting open the book, seeing what's in it. The sticker pack is utterly delightful. I thought at first there are so many stickers, I found that a little bit overwhelming at first, but for the most part it was super easy to apply. And as you can see throughout the video, I didn't really experience too many difficulties. I did have to redo a couple of them, but fortunately they come off nice and easy as long as you don't put down the bottom half of the sticker. The book itself is beautiful, as you can see, nice and bright and filled with detail. It's printed on the premium LEGO instruction booklets that they've been putting out lately with these sets, with the predominant black background, and just such beautiful photos. And there's the fan creator there. And I am so sorry, I did not even pay attention to what your name is. I just wanted to build the set, alright? Most of us have grown up with Sesame Street, though it has changed in its various incarnations over the years. But one thing does remain an absolute constant, and it is that you know, it did instill kids with a sense of community, fun and enjoyment. The nostalgia factor is there. I'm 48 and I was still super excited to get this set. And now we're going to speed things up. So we will jump into the build itself. Now the first things first, Big Bird. Big Bird was a really cool minifigure. The upper torso is rubberized. It's actually quite weird. I do wish that it was the harder Lego plastic, though I do guess for molding purposes it was actually easier for them to do it this way instead of like a traditional hard plastic. Though it did throw me because later on you've got Elmo, of course, and Elmo's fur is a hard plastic, though it is not as voluptuous as Big Bird's plumage is. We're building the base for the set. It is surprisingly big, though there are over 1,000 bricks in this build, so I guess that would be expected. It doesn't fit with modular sets per se. It is a play set in and of its own right, though you guys out there that are a lot more clever than myself, I am sure that you'll be able to make this into a modular building in no time, hopefully without having to fork out for 2 sets. The set itself was $199, and in my opinion was money very well spent. It was a highly enjoyable build, and I do think that most people won't worry too much about having to spend that much on their Sesame Street Lego. Now it's up to bag number 2. And as you can see, Elmo is now there, and we're certainly having fun with that. One of the things I did remember whilst doing this video, and it was something that I had forgotten, was the fact that Big Bird can't fit into any of the buildings and literally lives in a nest outside the main building where all the other Sesame Street characters live. So that was a bit of a weird realization, you know. This friendly old bird, he's been relegated to outside and doesn't get a look at inside at any stage. So that was funny to remember that. And also you've got Oscar the Grouch. He's, you know, getting all cranky outside as well. The steps here were well done. You got to build everything up. There's a lot of hidden detail that you'd have to look through the windows. There's a spider lurking in the basement. You can see that through the little basement window there at the bottom of the build, which is certainly a ton of fun. I like the fact that those details are in there, even though they're not going to form a primary focus for any real effective gameplay. Once you do seal that area, it is purely a display purpose. Just a little hidden touch in there that was really cool that they thought of to do. And I'm certainly grateful that they did. It helped build up the set and help lay a foundation for something that proved to be really, really cool. As you can see already, if you do remember this set from your childhood, all the colors are spot on. They've done such an amazing job with this. Playability, strength of the actual build itself, it was well worth getting, and I certainly hope that a lot of you do get this set as well. Some of the initial archways here at the back of the building, the way they arch over, initially they felt quite flimsy, and I wasn't confident as to how well they would actually hold together. But as to be expected, that was just a foundation for what was being laid. A little bit further in the video here, you will see where I start connecting across just then. It happened then. And all of a sudden it went from a structure that didn't feel very strong, to be honest. I thought that those walls would buckle or move if they were in a play environment. But no, we certainly got all that done very nicely. And it added a lot of strength to the building, really making it into a fully realized playset that kids could actually act out things with the minifigures, you know, if you ever let them touch it. But yeah, there's certainly playability here. There's a lot of photos and stuff that are hung on the walls that you may remember from the show. There's Ernie. Ernie's being set up now, and we're basically getting the front ready. Now, the build does involve you moving around the building constantly, so you will see me moving it around as I'm trying to do different parts. The building technique, it feels a little bit disjointed at times, though you can feel yourself slowly putting it together. Though at times, like, you'll leave a strut for the longest time with nothing connected to it as the set makes you maneuver your way around in order to get other areas done. That felt weird, but it didn't detract from the play factor. It was just sort of more of a guessing game as to where are the instructions taking me next, because that wall's not done. Like, why haven't I done that wall? And then you'd go to another area and be like, oh, because I need to go to this area to strengthen it in order to finish that wall. So by the end of it, everything did make sense that I was doing, but it was a little bit of a guessing game at times, and I'm sure that many of you will experience the same sort of thing. It's you leave areas unfinished for the longest of times, and that becomes even more evident a little bit later in the build, as we'll discuss shortly. It's always difficult with these speed sort of builds because as you can see, I'm putting it together quickly and then trying to comment normally over the top of a video that's playing at high speed. So by the time I see a feature and mention it, it's already happened. So you may have to pause this occasionally, and that is okay. If there's any areas there that you think I may have skipped past, please comment below, and we may revisit them at another point in time. Ernie's bath was a lot of fun. I did like that. As you can see, there is a mat in front of the bath, and his rubber ducky is included as well, which was really cool. But I actually felt sorry for these guys. Like, there's a chair. Now, Ernie's sitting on the chair, but it's butted up right against the bath. I mean, where is the privacy? So, thank goodness they're good friends. They've grown up together, and Ernie certainly doesn't mind if Bert's sitting there chatting to him while he washes rubber ducky. So that's a good thing. Now we're actually in the process of building their beds, which are nice and cramped together. You know, you wouldn't want to have a big splish splash in that bath because it's going to go straight on those beds. But check out the detail on the back walls. We've got a photo of Bert and Ernie there. Their little beds were so cute to make. I really did enjoy that process. And now we're filling in the roof space for them. This area was fun. It was detailed without going overboard. And it did give you a nice dollhouse effect by turning it around. You can see all the features there, certainly. The brick colors are certainly bright. I did love that, you know, the pictures on the side of the building there. And it certainly gave a nod and lots of little Easter eggs as to other Sesame Street characters that aren't included in the set. down the track there is one for the count. You know, he loves the count. Whoa. Okay, now we've got Cookie Monster. And there are a whole heap of little cookie elements included, which I thought was really cool. I would have liked to have seen in a set like this that is so filled with nostalgia. I think it was a little bit of a cop-out just doing the plain torsos for Elmo and Cookie, because they certainly could have had molded fur. It just would have looked cooler again to have like this really chubby Cookie Monster with fur, and even though Elmo's certainly just of a normal bearing, to have fur there I think would have been really cool. And I'm certainly hoping that this paves the way for Lego to do a collectible minifigure series that actually does have the Sesame Street characters in it. There's certainly more than enough of them to facilitate this. So Lego, I hope you're listening. We all want to see collectible minifigure series of the Sesame Street characters. You could pump them out. We'd all buy them. It would be a marketing dream come true. And I am sure that whatever network owns Sesame Street would be more than happy to make some extra bucks from Lego and us fans as we collect these figurines to further populate this Sesame Street diorama. Now this is building Hooper's shop down below, and here is one of the hints. I don't know if you'll see it behind my hand. You will see it in slow motion. There's the count, and that's his little dwelling there. There's a couple of VCR tapes there. It's just packed with little details that were really well thought out and totally realized true to form to the show. So I did like that. I also like the awning that you had to build. I think the colors were good. The brick choice was fantastic. There is a corner up the top of Hooper's, or rather the Count's home. It was a corner for the actual the eaves of the building, and I hadn't seen that brick before. I think it might be unique to this set. If you do know different, I'm not professing to know everything about every brick ever made. Of course, comment below. I like to be educated as much as the next person. As you can see there, I do have Oscar's head. To me, this was the massive letdown of this set. Otherwise, this set is a slam dunk. It was just a round ball with his face printed on it. Unacceptable. He's a furry old grouch. He lives in a trash can. His fur's always matted and knotted. It's not like that. It's not just a smooth ball. That was a cop-out considering the quality of this set otherwise. As you can see, it's packed full of detail. And it certainly, I think they let us down a little bit by doing that. Here we're further building Big Bird's area though. And there's the nest and other bits and pieces slowly making their way there. I loved the light with the Sesame Street on there as well. All this part was really cool. Now, in bags 6, it was weird. This is the part I was talking to you about. All the little details that they'd missed out prior started to be included. So when you open those two bags up, they're filled predominantly with smaller pieces, smaller elements. And at first you're like, why was this here? Why weren't these in other bags throughout? And I don't know, it didn't give you the same sort of finality as you would have expected when you do get to finish using big set pieces. This was adding in all the little detail, and it does make a beautiful difference. Look at the flowers in the background there against that building, the beautiful sunflower there. I am utterly loving the way that this is so detailed. I just think sometimes I wouldn't have done it this way, but hey, I am not talented enough to make this thing up by myself. And I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to actually make it. So we are almost complete here. You can see all the little detail being added. The set is there and complete in 2 seconds. I'll give it the thumbs up. And now we're just going to finish off the video by panning around, having a look at the characters. Those lights behind Big Bird, they are beautiful in real life. Absolutely beautiful. See all the detail? Check that out. That's utterly amazing. And it brings it all to life. And like I said, I would love at some stage if there was some way to finalize and finish up those buildings just that little bit more so that we could see them, maybe connect them to a modular city. I am sure that other people are going to do it. So we're almost finished, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do know it's a long video and I hope you watched it all the way with me. If you're enjoying what I'm doing and you want to be a part of the Amazing Brick Network, be sure to subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and please give us a comment. I want to know your thoughts. Have you built this? How did you find it? I thought it was so much fun, but most of all, I just want you to be a part of the insanity that is the Amazing Brick Network, and that is 123 Sesame Street. What a fantastic build. I hope you all get the chance to own it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you do want to find out more about the Amazing Brick Network, you can find us, of course, on YouTube where you're watching this. You can subscribe to that. And going on the screen now are all the different groups that you can join on Facebook. Normally, our shows do consist of builds by these talented builders throughout the entire world. So join the groups, post your builds, because you never know, it just may be you whose build I'm talking about next. Take care of yourselves, and most importantly, happy building. Bye-bye.